Yeah, so no gear matters. Um, they have specific gear that they give you in the zone itself.
Okay.
So you really don't have to worry about any of that. And we're gonna level up very fast early on. So
'Cause I was gonna go Thermatarge,
yeah,
Targe.
yeah, thaumaturge, you go for it.
'Cause I already started leveling up my Lancer.
Well, that doesn't matter. It's all gonna start at level 1. So if you want to keep doing Lancer, you can too. But if you want to do thaumaturge, you can. Whichever.
Yeah, I'll try
Really.
something else.
Okay, cool. Then I will
'Cause
go healer.
you can always go back to whatever, right?
Yeah, you can change it. I think maybe. Like you definitely can. I'm trying to think if you have to start over at 1 or 50 or if that's only when you get higher. I'm not sure. But either way, yes, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
All right, cool. I will
Go as fisherman.
You cannot go as that. That is your only restriction. All right, let's see. It is
Conjurer's healing, right?
Conjure is healing. Yes, correct. Let's see.
I don't know. They all sound fun.
They are.
'Cause I wanted to try, was it Pugilist?
Yeah, pugilist becomes a monk.
Pugilist. Hello.
It's definitely nice to have variety of the roles, the types of jobs. Like right now you have healer with scholar. You've got ranged magic with summoner, kind of. I guess not kind of, but yeah. And then lancers melee. What other ones? Oh, there's tank
What's a tank?
and tank is the
Which one's a tank?
person. Tanks are the ones who grab the enemies. And those are
But I mean, which jobs
that
are
would be
those?
the gladiator and the marauder. You don't have the other two yet. Gunbreaker and Dark Knight.
Oh, I do have Marauder. I'll try that instead.
Okay. Let me...
I'll try Marauder.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna reduce my stuff so I can make a new weapon.
Do I need to clear my inventory? Is it like a lot?
No, as long as you have like 2 spots available. I actually don't even know if inventory matters at all when I think about it.
Hmm.
I don't know if they give you actual items or not.
There's some
Do you
stuff
lose
you have to
everything?
trade in afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards, but I don't think there is. I think that's just like a. No, yes, that would be a physical item though they give you. So yeah, you do want some space.
Do you lose the items afterwards when you're leveling up? Is it kind of like a wave?
You lose some items, like the ones that are temporary and for our run, but in terms of like the loot, we will get like unidentified stuff that we give to one of the NPCs and they identify it, and that's the stuff we keep and can sell or
Mm.
use.
This this sounds like it goes forever.
It goes to floor 200.
So how do you lose? Just dying?
Yeah, either the whole group wipes or run out of time, I guess. We
But
won't
it
we won't
doesn't
die early on.
connect, but doesn't connect with your real level outside.
It
I
does. It
see.
does kind of. It's the
But not
level
directly, I
inside.
mean.
Yeah. The level inside is separate, but then outside, once you're done, you get experience that levels up your real job. So it's weird because you
Gotcha.
could have a level 50 job in there, but only be like level 10 outside. So it can be a little disorienting at first because you level up really quickly. So like if you haven't
Mhm.
looked at the abilities for the job, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I have another ability. Oh my gosh, I have another ability. So early on, it's a little much, but that's why, like, I'm also fine if you want to just go as a trio so we don't have somebody else rushing and we can talk through it and not have you feel
It's up
rushed
to you.
because it's very easy early on. It's only really 50 plus that it gets harder. But I'll let Brian chime
I'm
in as well.
okay with going with the flow.
I mean, yeah, it's just it will go really fast. So it's kind of it's a weird one because if you're doing a brand new class, then you're at least while in there, as Alan said, you're going to be getting abilities left and right. So it's just your level of comfort doing that. Do you want to just jump in and then just kind of use one ability the whole time? Before you go in, do you want to just look at your skill book and start populating out your hotbar, knowing that you'll get all of those abilities? So it's just really however you want to play it.
Gotcha.
But inside the palace, you're going to get levels super quickly. So you're going to be unlocking stuff left and right.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So honestly, I would probably recommend going in as Arcanist even,
No
just as
way.
something you're already
Ew.
familiar with and already know the
Boo.
setup, just so you can see what it's about.
Boo. Boo.
You know what? I don't care. Do whatever.
I'm just kidding. It really is like Brian said. It's your comfort level. Because
Okay.
if it's going to overwhelm you, I agree with what Brian said. If if it doesn't, if you don't think that'll bother you, and you're okay with just kind of going with the flow, then I don't think it's a big deal. So really, like you said, your comfort level. I was just teasing.
I think I'll be okay. Uh, I'll just depend on you to heal me.
I can do that. And we'll be sticking as a group. People can sometimes choose to split up, but we'll be sticking as a group.
Okay.
I just turned in all of my grips except 9 of them to create a new weapon since I was max capped out. So I will be weaker now, but oh well. Let me just I don't have a thing. Okay, no, I don't. Alright, and then I think Brian has to actually physically be here for us to do it, if I remember correctly.
Do you think it also depends on the role too?
No, the role
That
doesn't
makes it
matter.
easier.
You can be all DPS, you can be all tanks. And even if like we queued up as a healer, a tank, and a DPS, the fourth job we'd
Mhm.
get would be completely random.
Oh, interesting. What if it's all four healers?
Then 4 healers are gonna crush it. The healers can be pretty strong. They're not oops, let's see, how do we clear this reset progress? So it's weird because you can only have 2 save slots. So if you ever like can't join, then you have to talk to one of these people and clear one of your save slots.
What?
Also, it's kind of adorable because they do like the old school Final Fantasy pixel art. It looks like an old save. It's pretty cute. But for you, it won't look like anything right now. But you'll see after you do the first one.
No idea what you're talking about.
There's a person over here that just they have like save files, like an old school cartridge RPG, and you can only have 2. So like if you ever
Where
need
are
it,
you?
I'm back by over here, behind you. Looks like, I think. I'm jumping. Jumping. Just push like down on the
Oh,
HCV.
so crowded over here.
Yeah, so that's why, because everyone has to actually come here to queue up for it.
Oh, I see.
So if you talk to this guy, you can't really see it at the moment, but he's got like an option to like reset your progress. So you may ever, if you ever like go to enter
Oh,
the
yeah.
Palace of the Dead, you see 2 save slots.
Do I press enter now?
Party leader. Oh, Brian has to come and sit party leader.
That's been
I was just trying to look at it. I wasn't trying to do it, but good to know.
So that's the gear we get originally in the beginning.
You can see the gear if you want. At this Una Kotar, they show you the gear for your job that you can eventually exchange to have. Although I don't know if they'd show you yet, but if they do, it would be under
Is there any
request to
way to
keep
remove
your
all
Aether
these
pool.
people?
No, I don't think so.
What's a grip?
Those are what we're going to get. Uh, it's like an item you can get after your weapon or armor gets to level 10. Or I think weapon and armor gets to level 10. Multiples of 10, basically. A lot of it will make sense as you do it. It's hard to... House of the Dead's a little hard to explain without the context of doing it. It's a weird thing all on its own. But I enjoy it. Brian enjoys it. We haven't necessarily found people that enjoy it with us. At least the same way
Is
we
it
enjoy
bad
it.
or is it you?
It's the content. It's
How come people don't enjoy it?
some people like it. We like it. A lot of people like it. Just the other people we've played with, they tend to find it monotonous and not as fun. They don't necessarily like the challenge or the thrill of that like we do. Which isn't bad, it's just different, I think, brains or, I don't know, personality traits of people. So you'll see like a map and like a character screen. You'll want to lock those, I would argue.
Lock?
Yeah, they have like a little lock in the top left of them, or top right of them. And I would suggest going to your mouse mode and locking those, personally. Maybe Brian doesn't lock them, I'm not sure.
The floor. Lock the floor, you mean? Or
like lock the map so that it doesn't disappear when you get off of it, because it's good to be able to see that stuff. But I'm not sure if Brian locks it. That's just what I do.
okay.
Oh, we're with a person.
So I just say floor 1. Are we just following him then?
Yeah, it looks like this guy's just cruising through it. Let's see. So, do you have your character screen open or no? Did that go away?
What is character screen?
It'll say like character info. I have a little picture of you. It's got some items on it. If you're not seeing it on your screen, it might have gone away.
Okay.
And if it did go away, you can push start and go to character screen, like as if you're going to change your inventory.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I would recommend locking and keeping it up, because that's where we see all of our items, which we use in Palace of the Dead.
So much space though.
Well, you can always resize it. I resize mine to make it smaller.
Oh.
I just like throw it off to the side.
Resize it?
Just push the right stick on it. And And then
Well,
you
we
can use
got really
the
big.
and then you can use the mouse mode to lock it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I dig the cat ears on the ninja outfit. It's cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
So after we kill enough enemies, these little teleport things open up, and then we stand in them,
Yeah.
and it takes us to the next level. Which is indicated somewhere on our floor thing. Do you have the map up still?
Yeah.
They've got these two icons in the top left
Okay.
that are grayed out at the moment. They're kind of just like an outline. As we kill
Yeah.
more enemies, they will start to change color and eventually light up. And that means we can use them. One of them is the one on the right means we can go to the next floor, I think. And the one on the left means like if we die, we can resurrect people. Not if we die, but like if people on our team die, we can resurrect them by going to that.
Oh, like right now.
Like if you don't have a healer, if someone literally died, you can go to that and it'll bring them back to life. Because otherwise you wouldn't necessarily be able to do that.
I'm a frog.
Yeah, they have random traps on the ground that do that as well. And if you push in your center button and go to that character screen, you can look at the items. Those will eventually be useful to learn how to use those. So if you just want to like pop one, you can. Basically just select it and use it.
Do we all have the same one?
Yeah, we all share it. For the most part, they don't matter until you get to the higher levels, but it's still good practice to learn about them.
Do you see the traps on the floor?
Not unless you use a thing that lets you see them.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like just a random thing. And I don't know what level it is that Marauder gets tank stance. But since this other guy's a tank, it probably doesn't matter. They'd probably do it too. But since you're on Marauder, all tanks have an ability that you use that you just basically just turns on, and it makes it so that when you hit enemies, they're more likely to hit you.
Gotcha.
And I think Brian just opened that chest. That's a blue chest. That basically increases your weapon or armor. I don't think it's not guaranteed unless it's like super low level. It's like a chance to level up. And the higher the floor you're on, the more likely that chance will happen. You know, so a lot of quirks, a lot of weird things about this. It's probably overwhelming to learn about. I'm gonna use
Tad.
this guy. Yeah. I don't even remember some of this stuff. Like, you sense. I think there's one on this floor. Chest. Oh, let me heal some people. There it is. So there's an item over there. They'll probably get it before you get here, but
A sword?
no, there's like a item that they're about to find, a hidden item, a chest. Oh, you're here. Oh, is that you? Yeah, you're here. Go stand on that golden light. If you stand on
He
that,
said no.
oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were here. So as soon as you stand on that, now you click it. That's a item that we will all get out as soon as we leave the dungeon. That's one of those unidentified items that I said you can turn in. You always could find those, but the odds of finding it are hard because you basically have to stand on a spot for a few seconds and then it would reveal itself. So if you happen to be lucky and standing on that spot while maybe fighting an enemy, then you'd get it.
Yeah.
But otherwise you need to use these items that reveal them. So I used one of those
Gotcha.
items and it revealed it to us. And you can always just look through the other ones if you want to. Like one of them removes all the traps. Let's see what the rest.
There are certain floors that have more traps than the other.
Probably, but I don't think you
It's
are
always
able to.
random.
I don't think you're able to know though. Yeah, I think it's just random.
Oh.
Oh, and here's another thing. Like that said, hit points and magic points increase for this floor. So there's that little icon on the map thing. That's like a blue. It's got a plus symbol with a green and pink. Do you see that?
Yeah.
That basically is just saying we have more life and magic this floor. And they also will have ones that are like
right in the
debuffs.
middle.
Yeah. And they usually tell you what it is when you enter that floor. And I think it's only for the floor. I don't think it lasts beyond that. Oh, it looks like you have tank stance because the other guy is using it now. Hold on, we should use fortune. I guess it wasn't in here, but... So if you want to use it, you can use it. You don't need to because we already have a tanks. But it's that icon that looks like an axe that he has on. Do you see that?
Oh, gotcha. Is
Just
it forever on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on until you turn it off. And that just means like if you and I both attack an enemy, they're gonna attack you before they attack me. Well, not 100%, but for the most part.
Okay.
Nope. Fortune smiles on you, possibly. We can also see in the top left, next to that icon I was telling you about, which is apparently still there. It says that there's a circle with like a gold circle with a money bag in the top right of it. You see that? You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that means that one of those gold pillars of lights will be on this floor.
Oh, okay.
So if you see it, you can stand on it. And so all those items we're getting, those little palm things on the left, or sorry, I'm saying the left, but on your character screen, those will disappear after we finish 10 floors. Like,
What palm things?
those are all those little circle things we can use on the character screen.
Like in the items?
Uh-huh. Those are all just temporary for our run. Hey, buddy. So there's not really a harm to using them. The only time it would matter is if you're doing, you can stick with the same group. And if you stick with the same group, then you can carry your items from floor to floor. Or for every 10 floors, I should say. And every 10 floors ends with a boss of some sort. And it's predetermined, it's not random. Those bosses.
Same boss.
Yeah.
How come the music changed?
I don't know. I think it's just random, and I don't think it's not. It's like they have like they have like so many songs they pull from. Like they have weird ones that they pull. Uh-oh, where are you at? Uh-oh.
Dead.
Yeah, let's see, where are you? I'll come raise you.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. You have Asuna? Oh, here it is, Asuna.
I need to start playing my near game.
It's true. They have a near read. Gotta do it.
Ouch.
Some jobs are able to solo this like all the way to 200, like very skillfully. Like I could never do it, I'm sure, but
Which one?
like what jobs? I don't know. I know Monk has done
Mhm.
it. I don't know what other jobs have done it.
No.
But my guess would be they're all DPS jobs, but I could be wrong about that assumption.
Is there a time limit for the whole thing?
Yeah, I think it's 30 minutes. What do we have? Oh, never mind. Whoa, an hour? Apparently an hour every 10 floors, which I remember is not a big deal, but I remember at the end, in the last one, we almost ran out of time, the one I won.
No.
So it definitely can matter. That was when Carter was born? Yeah, not Charlotte. When Carter was born, I was paternity leave, I basically was doing Palace of the Dead with like random people. Well, not random people. People
Nice.
I didn't know, but consistently with this like same people I found.
Yeah.
And so that was when I did it. Because you have to do the floors 100 to 200 with the same. What was this? Oh, steel. Oops. No, stop it. With the same people, you can't. And I don't think you can even do random people. I think it has to be people you have actually found. Oh, that was also steel. If you'd like to use the steel, either of you, recruits.
What's the steel?
You should probably use that one, Kellen. That's the one that's like bluish. Your damage taken is reduced. The Pomander of Steel.
Oh.
There you go. Then I'll pick another one up. Oh,
How do you
apparently
use
another one's been picked up. Jeez. Brian, if you'd like to use one, you may as well.
Oh.
Oh, am I picking up? Oh, this is strength. Never
Got
mind.
it.
Oh, Brian, if you'd like to use that one, you may. I can't keep up. There we go. Okay, jeez. And then I'll go find this guy that died. Not bad. Where's Tank? And you can only carry 3 of each item. That's why I was basically saying we could use them.
Oh, I see.
It's right there. We already had 3 of one. Oh man. Oh, well, let's use it again. Alright, that's 4-9. We're about to do the boss. You can use a Pomander of Strength, Kellen, if you haven't already. I don't think you did, because we're about to lose it anyway. May as well, we're capped on it. It'll make you stronger. Oh, Brian, nice, I forgot about those. So Brian just transformed into that monster creature. And he's
What does
gonna
that do?
he does like crazy extra damage attacks. He
Okay.
is, it's kind of like how we were talking about how your hotbar switches when you use that turret in that main story thing. His hotbar switches and he gets these special attacks.
Nice.
This one, it's normal power, but it applies a debuff.
Oh, that's right.
That makes the enemy weaker.
It doesn't
So
that
pretty much
stack?
people just
Oh, so we're done?
With 10 floors.
Oh, I thought it keeps on to play.
We have the option when we exit to keep playing. This is where we get all of our real experience. Brian, your debuff stacks, right?
Yep.
Nice. And so we'll all appear out here. You might have a cutscene or something.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so see now you're level 3 in real life. And we also got some tomestones, some money, and then we got 2 of those bronze trim sacks which we can turn in and for real items.
So you guys just exit then?
Yeah.
And I'm going AFK for a bit to get back in a little bit.
Okay.
Right, bye.
What did you say?
He's just
I
going
didn't
AFK
hear.
for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So you can talk to, I think it's the Expedition Bishop? That's the one you appraise your pieces with. And it's just completely random. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're crappy. in the level 100 plus ones is where I got an item, which is a mount that sells for like 16 million. And so I started to sell it, but then some other guy was also trying to sell it and he kept like undercutting me, so we kept like going lower and lower and lower.
Down to 1 mil.
No, well eventually we got down to, I want to say it was 12 million maybe, and then I bought
Yeah.
his, and I bought his and basically had them both on the market, and then I raised the price and so I sold both for higher. So
Nice.
yeah,
What do you end up selling it for?
I want to say it was close to like 18 million. So I made,
Oh, nice.
I guess, 18 million plus 6 million from his. So it's pretty good profit, and we used that money to buy our house, basically.
They got magic prism.
Oh, really? Oh yeah, those random items you could just use, like these
Doesn't
things.
sound great.
It's just like one of these little things.
Oh.
They're not that great. They're just like throwaway items.
Is it?
Yep, not a fun one. Some are cool, some are stupid. Yay.
No one mine even did.
So it's a weird place because like you're only 3 out here, but you're 22 in there, so it's like there's a lot of skills to learn quickly. I originally thought we were just gonna go the 3 of us because then we could slow down and talk about some of that stuff, but that other guy was there and was like pushing us through. But hopefully it worked out okay.
I mean, I feel like I'll keep on doing it and learn.
Yeah. So if you want to do it again, we could basically start in a second slot. So we're not locked. So if you go here and talk to this person, you can go to enter Palace of the Dead. And you'll see that we have a one that says 411, and then it says, it's got a picture of us, and then 3 question mark people. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So that's basically us on 411. We can use that to join any group. It's not like locked in. And then we can now use our second slot to do like a parallel run if we wanted to.
What do you mean by parallel?
Meaning you can start over at 4-1. Because like if we did, you can only start in floors of like 50. So like you'd either start at 4-1 or you start at 450. You can't ever start at like 411. At least I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Gotcha.
Maybe you can. Maybe that's only after you get higher. Hold on, let me see. Let me reset my progress. That might not be true anymore. Enter the palace with a matched party. Are you sure you wish to enter matched? Oh no, I'm wrong. I was right. Sorry. I'm right. Yeah, you can only enter on floor 1 or floor 51. So basically, if we wanted to play with Brian again, we want to keep that slot there so that when he comes back, we can all play together. Otherwise, we have to like, either he needs to catch up to where we're at, or we need to go back to the start with him. So that's
Gotcha.
why having like different slots is important. It's like if we did it again, we would just start at floor 1 again. We'd start at level 1 again, but your level out here would still keep getting higher.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that again, we can do that again. You can also say I hate it. I don't ever want to see it again, and that's fine too. I think it. The more you do it, the more it makes sense, and the more
Yeah.
the
I don't
challenge
think
gets
I
there.
can hate it right now because I don't fully understand it.
Good. I like that response. Well, do you want to do another one, or do you want to do something else?
Oh, yeah. I can.
Okay, cool. Oh, hold on. Let me get out of here because you're on the wrong job. Hold on. Yeah, I said she was. Okay. You ready now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let me do this one. Oh, hold on. That's me. Hold on. We have to clear that space now because I populated that space basically once I queued up for it. So talk to this guy in front of us that we did earlier, and you're gonna want to go to reset your progress, and then pick the one that says floor 1.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll enter. Oops, oops, oops. Matched party. Do you want to do just the 2 of us and talk through anything, or do you want to do it with 4 people?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Then I'll just do 4 people. 4 people is definitely faster, but if you want to talk
Yeah.
through anything, then 2 people is easier, because then we can basically pause. But for the most part, you can still pause and talk through things.
Yeah.
They give you a lot of time, and it's not that hard to fight through these things. And the experience will get better once you get to the 50 and higher ones. It's like those are the 2 thresholds, I think.
What happens when you get to 200? Can you just reset everything again?
There is an ending, like it actual ends. I won't say what's there just because I think it's kind of fun. And I didn't know it was
Okay.
there, but
You meet the floating lady.
maybe. And they also have one called Heaven on High, which is once you're in the 60 range. I think you're supposed to do this one until you get to 60 in terms of getting good experience, and then after that, it's recommended that you go to Heaven on High because the experience is better there. But you have to be level
Oh.
60 or higher to do it. Plus, you have to be in the Storm's Blood expansion, so you wouldn't be able to do that one yet. And that one's a tower. That one only goes to like floor 100 though. That one's, I'd say, even more confusing, if that's possible. What is your current arm and armor level at in your character screen? I'm curious how much you got.
3 and 2.
Okay. It caps out at 99 and 99.
Oh, so it keeps on adding to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that also stays between runs. But if you do low level runs, you're not as likely to level it up. Like mine is 9 and 9. It was 99.
Mm-hmm.
It was capped out and I spent it all but before we came in here. But it
What's the Karn of Return? Karn.
that's if someone dies. That's how we bring them back to life. Like if you don't have a healer.
Oh.
But mine is 9 and 9, but it never leveled up because the odds of it leveling up are lower when you're on the lower levels. If you have a
Okay.
higher number than it. Which is why I turned them in basically, because I would be stronger if I didn't, but I'd basically never be able to turn them in for anything. And you can basically turn them in to make glamour weapons if you want to. You can either make the weapons we have now, like if you wanted that to be your weapon outside of House of the Dead, these glowing things, or you can make these
It
red,
looks cool.
yeah. And those ones only cost 3, so basically you could be level 10 3 times. Like once you got both to 10, you could turn it in for 1 grip, and then they'd start over at level 1 again. Actually, I think you'd probably have to be level 1, or 11, because I don't think they have level 10, but
I don't like it do anything.
oh yeah,
So
we're
sad.
silenced and
Didn't even notice that.
weapon skill. It was some trap that we stepped in. Yeah, as a heal or as a mage, I've learned to just always have echo drop potions on me, so I can stop that silence because it's like a killer. But in the Palace of the Dead, your weapon will change to that reddish one.
No.
It'll change to that reddish blood-looking one once you get to level 70.
Which one?
Your weapon, it'll change to like this reddish one. You may not have noticed, but the other tank had it in the last run.
Oh.
His weapon was like reddish.
Yeah. Didn't notice.
It's definitely a cooler looking weapon, I think. But it costs 9 grips instead of just 3. So it takes a lot more leveling to do it. And I don't remember what level you get your tank stance, but since there's only one tank, it'd be even more beneficial this time for you to use it. Sometimes when there's 2 tanks, people opt to not because the tanks are basically fighting over it.
Oh.
But if there's only
Was
one
I
tank,
fighting over?
no, I don't think so because I don't think it matters as much in this. I'm just thinking in general in terms of teaching you. Times where there will be 2 tanks, they usually have a main tank and an off tank, and the off tank won't have it turned on. So
Gotcha.
you don't always want it on.
What's the off tank for?
The off tank is for, sometimes they have things called tank busters, which is like an attack that kind of messes up your tank for a little bit with like a debuff or crazy damage. And so at that point they do like a tank swap. Or if the main tank is fighting the boss, they might have ads that come up. And so the off tank would grab the ads. Those are basically the 2 roles of the off tank. We also sometimes will find these things called like, I want to say they're called palm shards. It's just random. And those are used to turn in for like minions and there's one mount and things like that. You can exchange it with somebody outside. I think it's the same person that does the grips. Commander of Steel.
I got the tank.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Silence. Or not silence. What's the other one called?
What's the other one called?
Pacification.
Yeah. I'm being stingy with my potions. I guess I can.
No worries. Almost done. Too late.
The map also shows
That the key to the next floor?
yeah, so the key is like the one that means that's where the portal is. They also have like chests that'll be different colors. The silver ones are the ones you want the most. Those are the ones that increase your weapon and armor level. So you should never leave one of those well, I shouldn't say never, but basically never leave one of those untouched.
Was there a point in clearing the floor if, because that guy was just standing at the portal? Like, can you just go straight to the portal?
You can go straight to the portal if it's like ready.
Hmm.
And there's no advantage to clearing because the enemies will just keep spawning. It's just
Oh,
like
I see.
even if you kill them all.
So it's better just to run through.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But I mean, well, I wouldn't say it's better to run through. People still usually will explore because the items and stuff
Yeah.
the chests are useful. But in terms of killing all the enemies, that doesn't always happen because
Gotcha.
you can like walk by some enemies, especially at the higher levels. Sometimes they will opt to try to sneak past some. Some of them are kind of a pain to deal with. Like the higher levels are no joke, which is fun, I think. Oof. So I just used a pomander that made it so less enemies will be on the next floor. And it looks like for some reason we're able to see one of the traps. Maybe it also does that. It doesn't say it does that though. I'm not sure why we can see that. And I can also do one that increases the chests on the floor.
Oh, that guy just ran over.
You ran over?
The trap,
No, on
so I
purpose?
can't attack. I don't know. It seemed like on purpose. Getting the golden chest.
Yeah. And one of the pomanders is the pomander of witching, which basically, if you're ever overwhelmed by enemies, it's a good one to use. It turns them all into frogs, imps, and chickens, so they're less likely to hurt you and kill you. They do like no
Nice.
damage. And the one on the bottom left is the one Brian used, which is the pomander of lust, which turns him into a succubus. Also, I don't know what level you get your AoE ability, but that one's like really useful for tanks. It does like a cone-shaped AoE attack.
Oh, the overpower.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And that basically just lets you grab everybody so they don't attack
Gotcha.
anybody else. It doesn't do as much damage,
Yeah.
but it's still... It probably is actually more damage. If there's enough enemies, it's probably more damage than hitting them all individually in terms of output, but...
Good
like,
to know.
yeah. You're, If you should try using Succubus because it's there and we're on the boss. This would be good practice for
Okay.
you. Hopefully no one else does it before you can do it. It's the one on the bottom left. Did you get it?
Think so.
Nice. So yeah, just use that. You don't have to get in space. Use AoE or range.
Oh.
Sorry.
Coming after me.
Yeah, you may.
If
You
I'm
may.
tank.
Yeah, I'd say that we don't have a tank to pull them off, but I'll keep you. I'll keep you alive. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And so that's applying a debuff that's making him take more damage. His vulnerability.
Nice.
And if you want to turn it off, I think it's a pain. I think you have to actually use mouse mode and go up to it and then push R2 on it. I remember that always being like a pain to turn off in the thick of battle, because sometimes you want to in the higher levels. So it's good practice if you want to try that really quick.
What do I do?
Go to mouse mode, which is L1 and right stick. Oh, it already is.
Oh,
You can still try it though. Yeah, and then just go over to your Defiance and turn that off with R2. Just right click with R2, yeah.
Can I just use my actual mouse?
You can, but then don't know. I don't know how that would work if you're in keyboard. If you're swapping, like if you're in controller mode and then your mouse is. I don't know if they try to fight each other. How that would work. So if you want, we could just go to the entry point and do another one, or we can exit and queue it again. I think it'll just find us new people. Yep, cool. I'm kind of surprised we instantly got people, unless it's the exact same two we just played with. Because sometimes that could be a little hard. That's also another reason it's not always ideal to leave a run in the middle, because like if you're on floor 40, the odds of playing with other people that are on floor 40 is now lower, because most people are starting at floor 1 or 50. So you may be queued for a while waiting for somebody else to have an opening at that level. So the more people you have to play with you, the better.
Doesn't matter where I go.
Not really. We like usually try to stay with the group, but I clearly went the other way like a chump, so I'm not listening to my own advice.
Okay.
Depending on the jobs, I've seen some people that can go by themselves no problem because they can heal themselves or do other stuff.
Yeah.
Other times I've seen people go in kind of groups of two, so you can kind of spread out and then figure out where to go from there. So it really depends. I would say below 50, most of the Palace of the Dead is pretty easy and it's just learning how it operates. And then once you get to 50, they've got some tricky bosses in there, but for the most part the enemies are okay. I think there's one group where some of the enemies are a little harder. And then for 100 plus, that's when the bosses definitely have some very weird quirks about them that you kind of have to know ahead of time. Otherwise, like you can't really
Yeah.
react on the fly to some of them. And they also have some weird enemies that can be a little tricky to deal with. Plus, in the higher levels, they have these like roaming, like these enemies that kind of just roam the halls. Like they don't just stay in one
Yeah.
room, and so those can be kind of a pain to deal with sometimes, because they can like
Oh.
just appear when you're not expecting them. I got you. I forgot I could actually take that off. I apologize. I haven't been doing that before. My bad. One other ability you have, but you may not have it set, it's a roll ability, is stun. Stun is pretty useful for tanks.
Mm.
If you ever see those telegraphed attacks, you know, where they like put the marker on the ground that says where it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
If you ever see one that seems like it's gonna hit you or the group, that's a good time to stun, because a lot of those abilities can be stunned.
Gotcha.
So that's one of those ones you just kind of like gotta quickly react to if you're able to. It's not a huge deal if you can't. And it's kind of a bummer too, because sometimes certain abilities can't be stunned, or enemies can't be stunned. So you kind of have to like be ready to run away if it doesn't work out. Like I usually use it as I'm running away, and then if it's done, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll stay. I'll come back. Hold my ground. We're also picking up Phoenix Downs, which can only, I think they can only be used here. But those stay with you, and you can only carry one of them. So that's like an alternative if you don't have a tank. But they can only be used outside of battle. So like after the enemies are dead, you're not fighting.
Gotcha.
Like right now we could use it, but you couldn't use it while you're fighting.
What's the use in it?
Basically, if you haven't killed enough enemies... Oh my gosh, we're getting so many of those in this far. If you haven't
Okay,
killed
what?
enough
Oh.
enemies to have the thing of return, but you need to bring someone back to life. But the use is fairly limited. I think I've only ever used it twice. You could sell it on the market board, but I think it only sells for like $100. Nothing too exciting. So I actually used to use the Palace of the Dead even when I unlocked a level like 50 plus job, because it kind
Yeah.
of forced me to start at level 1 and learn their abilities. Like, it still goes
Gotcha.
pretty fast, but
Mhm.
it's better than kind of being overwhelmed with like a million abilities all at once. For me,
Oh,
for me at least.
I'm a toad.
Oh no. Are you able to punch them while you do that or no?
I'm a frog that got eaten by a toad.
Dang. Embarrassing. You're never gonna live that one down at the pond. So how is healer going so far?
I actually enjoy it.
Good. Are you just healing or are you attacking too?
Just healing.
Yeah, that's my
I'm not that talented.
that's my preferred. And they've actually changed healer to in the newest content to try to make them more healer. There was like if you'd like to know the story, if you don't care, you can tell me shut up at any point. But
It's
back in
fine.
the day, healers used to only heal, and
Yeah.
then they started getting the newer content, which was
Mhm.
harder, and they had these groups that were struggling through it, and then one group all of a sudden cleared it, and what made them different than everybody else is basically that the healer was attacking, and
Uh.
and so the world was like, oh, okay. And so, because before that, like most healers were like, I only attack when I'm doing solo content or something. Like I don't actually
Yeah.
do it for group content. It looks like the group's ready to go up if you wanted to. You can keep
Oh.
going for it if you want to.
Whoops.
No worries.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it kind of just became the norm that healers they weren't expected
Yeah.
to heal or attack, but they could. And
Yeah.
so it kind of became they started making content around that, and then at one point they didn't like that. They thought that healers should be healers and not have to feel like they have to fight because it's like meant to be
Right.
different. And so basically in the newer content, the way they fix that is just making everything hit a lot harder. So you basically have to be healing, otherwise people are dying.
Yeah.
Which I like because I'd rather be healing when I'm on a healer, but it's also sometimes a little intense because it's like, oh my gosh, where'd everyone's life go all of a sudden?
That's how I feel. I think just uh the pressure, I guess, just kind of find that time.
Yeah, it definitely can be thrilling. Everyone lives and dies by by your actions. That's also the reason I enjoy tank, that you basically control the flow of everything. You're not in
Yeah.
no one else is driving the boat. But you also live or die by the healer. So it's a weird dance. And then DPS just are there. Take or leave them.
I feel like DPS is really nice when you start off
Yeah.
because you don't have to worry about anything.
Yep, for sure. It's weird. Like they're useful and they definitely make everything go faster and they're strong, but in theory there's a lot of content. Like if you are doing a run and the healer dies or the tank dies, you're possibly screwed.
Yeah.
But if like the DPS die, in theory I've seen times where like the tank and the healer will just run everything together. Like they could finish the entire fight themselves if they're good enough. Because everyone else is kind of just there to make things faster.
Yeah.
But I maintain I think it's fairly useful to learn all the different roles. I think it makes you better at, even if like you want to be a DPS full time, I think it makes you a better DPS to play the other jobs to know how they work.
Right. Oh, I got everything.
Yeah, that was some really bad breath. I'm sure you can relate to that one. At your line of work.
That was bad what?
That move is called bad breath, and it hits you with
Oh.
everything.
It sure does. No mask can ever stop it.
No,
Worse than COVID.
no, because that one's gonna be there even after COVID's gone. No, I should yell at you actually. That's the first thing they teach you in dentistry school, how to handle that.
Oh, I do have a healing ability. Cool.
You'll be happy to know that Natalie made me realize I am the worst and didn't know it. Because I was
For
like,
what?
because I used to like, I was like, I brush my teeth in the morning, I brush my teeth at night, I'm good. And then,
Mhm.
but I didn't used to brush my teeth before I went to the dentist because I like didn't think about it because I brush in the morning, I brush at night. And now he's like, you need to brush your
Yeah.
teeth before you go to the dentist. Don't be the worst. So she's putting in the good word. Just help you all.
Yeah, sometimes I don't mind. Try and guess what you had for lunch.
Oh gosh. You're gonna have like your what do you call it? Your reminder cards would be like your dentist has requested that you eat like not
Oh no, I
like
got it again.
like Doritos before you come in. That's what she's in the mood for.
Are you using all your potions?
No, that's not. I'm actually staying far enough away, so I'm not getting hit by it luckily. That's one of those ones that you can stun, I think,
Stun.
but at the very least
Gotcha.
walk around it.
Mm.
As a tank, that's definitely a big role. Is learning how to like run into enemies or slightly behind them really quickly to avoid
Yeah.
those. 'Cause those can be a killer for sure. Like you should stand like right in their face, and then once they do that, be ready to run past
Mhm.
them. Ah!
How come they don't follow me?
I don't know why they use that move on us. Some enemies have frustrating moves where they don't care who has the hate. They will just target someone else.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if that one was that, but they definitely have enemies that are like that. And it can be frustrating as a tank. You're like, I'm here. Hit me.
Can you can still run while using these moves, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, unless you're a
I'm just
healer
like so
or a
used to
mage.
summoner being, I'm like, stay still before I use it.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the nice things about non-mages.
I think I just realized that. A little late, but oh well.
Better late than never. That's one of my favorite things about Machinist is that that one doesn't like some enemy or jobs you still have to like be in their face too. But
Mhm.
like Machinist, like you can be far away and constantly moving and using those, so you can kind of just be all over the place, and
Machinist looks awesome.
a lot of enemies can't even like get to you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be my favorite.
It was my main for a long time until I
Yeah.
got into Black Mage. I like Black Mage. It's very different, um,
Is it?
but I feel like Machinist, it started to like hurt my hand because I was constantly like moving while pushing buttons while spinning the camera.
Uh,
So like I just like wasn't in my prime. Like I was overplaying it. Like that's one of those ones that I need to like I need the endurance. After like a long day of typing all day, I'm like, oh, my fingers are tired. But it is a really fun job. I can attest to that. It used to be a very like niche job that nobody played because playing it well was very hard. But then they
which
revamped
one?
Machinist. But then
Oh,
they revamped it. Oh, mimics are a pain if you don't kill them before they use their move. I forget what it does. But it does. I want to say it makes your damage lower and you take
I
more
thought you
damage.
just gesture and be friendly.
Sadly, not in this one. We're on the boss. You can use the Pomander of Steel and Strength. And did I already use that? Or when do I have damage? Yeah, I already used it. Sweet.
Oh, there were two healers?
Yeah, me and some other guy.
I thought you were the only one.
No.
Almost face.
Almost what?
I almost saw her face.
Oh. Want to do another one or break?
Sure. Oh, my durability is low. Is
No,
that
is it?
me or you?
It shouldn't matter in these.
That's what that low notice said.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter in here though, because your
Oh, okay.
gear doesn't affect this. I wonder if I would exit while we do that. Let me see. I'm gonna see if it's still cute. I'm doing it for science. I think we're still cute if I exit now. Yeah, we're still cute. Cool. So we can like go turn in our things and such. Just watch out. There's a big frog out here.
Do I get to turn into a frog?
You can get a frog mask. Brian used to always get really cool stuff in the 1 through 50 group that I never ran. I never ran 1 through 50 very much. Once I got to 50, I just
1
always
through
did
50.
those. Like
Uh-oh.
floors 1 through 50. Brian used to always get like cool minions and such.
Because he did his critical build.
Probably. Feel bad for the healer.
No? That means you don't have to heal. Let's say Unicult.
True.
That sounds cool. Unicult.
Unicoat?
Cult.
Colt.
Unicult.
Is it a weapon or outfit or what? Oh,
The horsey
it's a
with a
minion.
unicorn.
Nice. Yes,
Oh, okay.
apparently you have Brian luck.
I was running the critical build.
Yeah, apparently.
If you get
Let's see if I have one of those.
You get all those debuffs at once. Your luck goes higher.
Dang. Let's see.
Got some weird gear.
I have a frog.
Mm.
Oh, hey Charlotte, what's up? What? My secret room? You were in there? How dare you? What's up? You heard the wind in my room? Did you catch it? Sorry. Uh-huh. Was it Gale? Were you sleeping? Okay. It's a thrilling story.
Did you wanna quit?
There was
Or you
cat throw
still
up on the
wanna do
floor.
the...
Did you clean it up?
No, I don't have the stuff to clean it.
If I gave you the stuff, would you do it?
No.
Oh, if that's not the reason. That's not the reason. You just let me know. I appreciate it. Where was it? No, you just tell me with your words. You use your imagination and you say, that is where it was. Right when you turned around to walk back from where? The door? From where were you when you turned around? What part of my room? By my white door. We have multiple white doors in that room. You have to be more specific. The one that went onto the balcony? That door?
And when I turned around to go back to my room.
By like the TV? Okay.
And then I turned around to Dorman and then I saw Cat.
Ah. Okay. Well, I can clean that up later. Are you done with nap time now? Okay. And then you're all done? Okay. Alright. Then yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Alright. See ya, Alan.
Yeah. And you're welcome to do any of these things without the group though as well. If you need a clearer space, you're
Good.
welcome to.
I think I'm gonna take a break.
Alright, cool. Alright, sounds good.
Alright. See ya, Alan.
Bye.